Hello and welcome to this Jagger release preview video. Today I'll be going through the release highlights for our upcoming 20.1 release. This video focuses on the portfolio of Jagger solutions formerly referred to as Jagger Indirect. Hopefully you've seen this information during one of our 2019 releases, but just in case you're still mostly familiar with our solutions by their old names, the solution formerly known as Spend Radar is now Spend Analytics. What used to be called Total Supplier Manager, or TSM, is now Supplier Management. The former Sourcing Director is now just Sourcing. Our Contract Lifecycle Management software, initially known as TCM or Total Contract Manager, is now Contracts Plus. Spend Director is now Procurement, AP Director is Invoicing, and Supplies Manager is now Inventory Management. As a reminder, you can access the release notes for the current and past releases in library.jagger.com, also giving you access to videos and the product release schedule. More detailed information about what you're seeing in this video will be available with the release to UIT. And here is the release schedule for the 20.1 release. As you can see highlighted in pink, 20.1 features will appear in UIT on the 16th of March and will subsequently be moved into the production environment the weekend leading into April 6th. We're going to talk first about the ongoing user experience enhancements, including some new navigation that you'll see in your sites with 20.1, as well as expansion of our still optional new UX and improved search functionality. Then we'll discuss some of the most significant upgrades coming to e-procurement, invoicing, contracts, supplier management, and sourcing. Let's start with a change that everyone will see with the 20.1 release, and that's the new Jagger One navigation schema. If you haven't already made the switch, you'll see a modernized look in 20.1. with animated left navigation icons and a simplified color scheme designed to present a more unified look and feel across all Jagger solutions. Elements of the top banner will be more compact, including the logo and the breadcrumbs in the upper left, and the icons in the upper right will get a facelift as well. Let's take a quick look in the application. While the navigation looks different and some of the icons, like the one for contracts, suppliers, and sourcing, are redesigned, the concept of a flyout menu with tabs and subtabs remains the same. Everything's in the same order. Which icons you see here still differs only based on which solutions your organization is using and what permissions your user has. The only change to what's found where is for e-procurement clients, who will now find the shopping settings up under the shopping cart icon, where they more logically belong. Other than that, having moved from the admin icon, then nothing else has changed in terms of where you'll find functionality. And of course, you still have the menu search option at the bottom to find anything that you have trouble locating. Likewise, most of the changes you'll notice up in the upper right are cosmetic, with a new look for bookmarks, action items, and notifications. The biggest change will be that the name drop-down has been changed to a profile icon from which you can access your own user information, dashboards, and search pages, and things like that. And a new logout button down here at the bottom. This is just a preview. We'll have more details on all of this in the official 20.1 release video for this portfolio of solutions. I do want to spend a little more time on this next element though, because there are a couple of things that you'll need to do ahead of the release regarding your logo and your color theme. All of this will be in place in your UIT site when 20.1 goes to that environment in mid-March. If you'd like to begin preparing in UIT before then, you can easily do that by going to a brand new page that's under the Setup area, under Site Appearance and Behavior, and it's called Site Appearance Settings. Here you can override the default and begin using the Jagger One navigation experience. Now I'm doing this demo in a test environment where that option is already gone because that is the new navigation that we see in this environment. And when 21 goes to UIT in mid-March, that's what you'll see in UIT as well. But if you go to your UIT environment before that time, you'll see an option here to switch to the navigation a little bit early. And when you've turned it on, you'll see a new Color Themes tab. And you can either choose the default dark theme or switch to the default light theme, both predefined in the application. And we recommend that you use one of those two. But if you'd like to create another with your company colors, you can create one by clicking Add Color Theme. And once you do that, you'll see a list of options for the different colors. The navigation is going to control the banner over on the left, so that's probably your main company color. And the second level is going to be the flyout menu from that, and the color that you'll see when you hover over these icons is the navigation selector color. Now I've already created a scheme here, and if I go to organizational default, I've got a place where I can choose my banner logo, my mobile logo, my email logo, and my fax logo. The idea that we're trying to pursue here is to put all of the look and feel elements in this one area where you can get to them easily and not have to go hunting around. And if you want to upload a new graphic, you just click on the edit emblem and you can select an image that you've already uploaded or upload a new image and select the file and upload it here and then select it as the image that you're going to use in that spot. And the rest of this works pretty much the way that it has worked before. If you're using business units, you can choose business unit defaults as well. So you can differentiate the look, and you can do that also right here in this same area. And though I got to it directly from the color themes page, you can click this branding tab and get to it as well. And you will need to upload a new graphic. You'll notice that the banner will always be this light shade of gray that you see here, and the space for the logo is smaller. It should be approximately 250 pixels wide and 25 pixels tall, and should ideally have a transparent background so it'll show cleanly over the gray banner. And you can upload it right here from this section. We also recommend that if you have a customer branded portal for your suppliers, you update that graphic as well. Documentation on how to do all of this in another video will come out with the release to UIT in mid-March. A separate but related development is the new user experience. Some of you have already begun adoption of the new UX with some of your users, possibly with the shopping experience, and maybe with one of your P2P documents, which have a new and improved layout that makes it easier to see primary information and access details when you need to. With 20.1, we're making more strides in this area, supporting additional functionality in some documents and expanding into others. If you haven't begun early adoption, you might want to consider it now. At the moment, all of this can be turned on for certain sets of users at the role level as part of our Early Access Participation feature. And if you haven't done this at all yet, we highly recommend trying it with at least some of your users in the UIT environment. To do that, go into a user role and in the Role Properties section, under Early Access Participation, make some changes. After clicking Edit, we would recommend that you allow users to toggle back and forth between the shopping experiences, but override the default and make theirs the new shopping experience. And then do the same thing for the purchase order experience, overriding it and making the new PO experience what they by default will see. You might also let them toggle between invoice experiences, but we recommend leaving the default at Classic Experience for that one and let them switch over just to see where that is in the development. It's partially in place and we still have a lot that needs to be placed in the experience for the invoices before we make that official. If you let a few beta testers test it, you'll see back in the application on an invoice there is a Got Feedback button, and they can take a screenshot and then type in a comment to let us know what they think of the application functionality as we're developing it. Our developers can't respond to every recommendation, but they do watch these and take a feel from all of our clients who are doing this early testing. Any users who are already using the new UX will notice some changes across all the updated documents, requisitions, POs, and invoices, including easier access to approval actions like assigning and approving and rejecting from over here on the sidebar. Additional elements are now impacted by the color theme, and there are new capabilities for administrators who configure the system documents that dictate what appears on requisitions, POs, and invoices and where. Now you'll have easy access to document configuration from all documents, and in the document configuration area, we're adding the ability to preview documents in the new user experience layout. Now, enabling the new shopping experience for users gives them the new requisition layout as well. Requisitions are already just about fully functional in the new UX, but with 20.1 we're adding tab-based access to the PO previews and to attachments. With this release, purchase orders now support all configurable fields and have complete line-level functionality, as well as tab-based access to invoices, change requests, revisions, receipts, and attachments. Invoices, still in early development, offer expanded support of configurable fields, as well as tab-based access to matching, receipts, and attachments. It's a good time to let some of your users begin testing this component, as we mentioned earlier. The Early Access Participation page also allows you to give a more complete new search experience to some of your users. You've no doubt noticed a new look for some of the document search pages in your site, part of our adoption of a more robust and efficient search technology under the hood. On some pages, this new look and feel is already available for everyone, along with the enhanced functionality that the new search technology brings. Early access participation of the new search gives some users complete access to every bit of the updated functionality, even as we continue building in new capabilities. Our 20.1 release video will have more detail and practical tips on using the new search. So here's a task list we recommend for you in your UIT site first. You can either enable the JAGGER 1 navigation now, or wait until it is the UIT default in mid-March. Select a predefined dark or light theme, or create your own color theme and apply it. Upload a new site logo that's 250 pixels wide by 25 pixels tall and has a transparent background. You'll want to repeat those steps in your production environment as 20.1 goes live April the 5th. And on that separate UX feature, assign early access participation to select user roles, allowing more users to begin using the new shopping experience and requisition layout, and others maybe even the updated PO, possibly the invoice, and the new search experience. Again, this is the preview video and a heads up about those big changes. Watch for more detail on all of that in the official 20.1 release video. Now let's talk about enhancements to the e-procurement solution in 20.1. We'll tell you about a new type of dashboard widget that can really make your site more engaging, and then we'll discuss some new estimated delivery date functionality, and the ability to have a commodity code tree structure. Then we'll discuss some enhancements to Virtual Item Master, to Budget Manager, and Inventory Management. We're excited to offer a new dashboard widget with graphic that will be presented in the default dashboard and then allow users to navigate to other dashboards. This allows customers to create more of a visually guided buying experience. For example, the user clicks on the MRO widget and gets taken to a specific MRO dashboard. This is an optional feature, but one that will allow a lot of creativity that can make your site more visually appealing, as well as helping guide users to the things they need. The release notes will have documentation on how to set up and use this new capability. Customers who want the system to estimate delivery dates can enable our new Estimated Delivery Date feature, which uses the catalog item lead time to calculate an estimated delivery date as soon as the requisition is approved or just before the PO is sent to the supplier. Commodity code tree structure capabilities will allow clients to group commodity code trees. That will make it easier for users to search for commodity codes by drilling down into the customer's own commodity code or category tree, and to find the corresponding commodity codes in each branch. In this release, the feature is being added to the advanced shopping or product search, as well as the commodity lookup in the requisition lines. We have some enhancements to Virtual Item Master that will allow clients to use that functionality to specify the Item Master code or ID in any documents integrated with their ERP. It will now be possible to select the corresponding Item Master ID in the PR and PO lines. Catalog and contract items can have this Item Master ID previously assigned, meaning the end user does not have to select a Master Item ID. The Item Master ID is included in the PR and PO XML integrations, so that information can be sent to the ERP. Virtual Item Master users will also see some other improvements to the general usability of the feature. More details coming with the documentation and official video in 20.1. Clients using the new Budget Manager will see enhancements in 21 as well. It will now be possible to check the budget and/or collect spend before document completion. Previously, Budget Manager collected spend information after a document had completed workflow. Now it will be possible for customers to configure budget spend collection at any step of the workflow so that spend can be pre-encumbered before the document is finalized. We'll also introduce a new spend by budget visualization option, a new document level option that allows users to visualize total spend by budget at any stage of the process. Our inventory management solution gets several enhancements, starting with the ability to move inventory to a different fulfillment center and location, something that until now could only be done within a specific fulfillment center. We're also adding the ability to split or move inventory from one receipt across multiple locations. We'll introduce a new workflow robot that can be added into receipt workflow to allow inventory management customers to use receipt information to help them update inventory counts, so they'll know when to replenish their stock. And there will be new capability to use receipts to generate a stocking list for any lines that are flagged as replenishment items, a feature that will assist with replenishing stock even for clients who aren't using receipt workflow. This new stocking list shows which items to stock, and the quantity to stock, and the location for stocking. Speaking of receipts workflow, invoicing clients using that feature will find some enhancements to that functionality, which was released late last year. You'll now have the ability to return receipts in workflow. You'll notice additional ADW rule objects for approval steps and increased support for receipts in the mobile app. We're expanding our virtual payments capabilities as well. With JPMorgan Chase in 19.3, we just had card issuance but are adding a new reconciliation flow so the payment status is updated. And we have a brand new integration with Discover, which supports virtual card issuance for U.S. customers. And there are significant improvements to global invoicing, including the ability for taxes to be declared in the buyer-side entity currency on e-invoices. If a supplier invoices a buyer in the supplier's own currency, the e-invoice PDF will also display the tax amounts in the buyer's own currency so that the buyer entity can potentially claim back taxes or VAT. If the tax amounts are not displayed in the buyer-side currency, then the buyer entity is not entitled to claim these back. So this will address that missed opportunity. You'll also see some general improvements to the e-invoice PDF. We've optimized the size, changed the font to support additional foreign characters, and restructured to make it easier to read key content, for instance, the line-level tax breakdown. There are numerous improvements coming to Contracts Plus. One that international clients will find particularly exciting is that they'll have the new ability to translate contract custom field questions and values on both contracts and contract requests. They'll be able to enter contract custom fields and their selectable values in different languages. General questions used on contract requests will have this feature as well. We'll also have new contract custom field validations, giving customers the ability to define their string contract custom field pattern match using regex guidance for establishing the acceptable pattern. And there's also a new contract custom field response type for monetary values to facilitate minimum or maximum and currency validations. Other Contracts Plus features include the ability to block attachments within emails or external review emails. That means if you don't want to have attachments in your external review and communication center emails, you can opt not to allow that. There will be a new action to add or update attachments when a conversation with attachments arrives in the communication center, and you'll be able to add or update the main document as well. And will enhance functionality for sell-side contracts and Salesforce integrations, adding support for either Salesforce Lightning or Classic to initiate a contract creation in Contracts Plus, with multiple new capabilities for bringing in data and options for how that can work. Contracts Plus also gets new read-only placeholders, so you can lock placeholders during negotiation if you want. There are improvements to the contract request functionality, including full export capabilities and the ability to use ad hoc approvers on contract request workflow. The Contract Dashboard's Save Search Contracts widget will be able to display more fields, including Contract Manager, Current Workflow Step, and Work Group, so it becomes a much more usable widget. And clients using Item Master will now be able to connect contract non-catalog items with a master item ID if that's important information that needs to be sent to the ERP through the integration. Our supplier management solution gets some usability enhancements. We've added a new Invited By supplier filter in the registration information section of the advanced search page. And we're giving users the ability to include ad hoc comments within supplier invitations. There will be a new non-required comment field in the email confirmation or invite vendor pop-up screen that you see when you're inviting suppliers to register. The message added in the new comment field is integrated into the email invitation message that the supplier receives, and it's captured in the history log associated with the invitation submission. JAGGER Sourcing will have several improvements, including the ability to export information about public events and enhance visibility for price components, basically a way for suppliers to break up pricing into predefined buckets to provide deeper insight for improved negotiation and analysis on the all-in bid against individual items. And finally, the entire suite of solutions will have new capabilities for international number formatting. We now support the numbering format that uses periods for commas and commas for periods. The format that's used in the application is determined by the user's country. So that was a high-level summary of the new features coming in the 20.1 release. Please be sure to have a look at the release notes and the official release videos in mid-March. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll do our best to help. Thanks again for watching.